Hey folks, how's it going? So, I'm back at the school site, my school site, which I've learned that it is pre-Civil War, which is nice. I walked the property last time I was here, and I found two old privies, but I brought my probe with me today. Here's one. I'm not feeling any glass. And the other one is right up there. Just not feeling any glass down in there. Maybe it's deeper. My rod's only about, 4 feet? So, I don't know. Should I dig them? It'd be a waste not to. Just check them out, right? What to do. They're older ones. As you can see the growth of the trees that are around here. Pretty nice sized trees. And of course, those would have been gone when these were here. I'm gonna dig them. Might as well. What else we got to do? Yeah, so let me do a little digging, and then I'm going to do some metal detecting today. I got new batteries, hit some spots where I haven't hit before, and go over spots that I have hit before. So see what we find today. Hopefully I get into some nice bottles. Let's check it out. It'd be a waste. It would be a waste not to check these out, so I'll do that. Let's start digging. This almost seems like it's just a sinkhole. My dirt layer, that's just, that's natural dirt. That's natural soil right there. Not getting that ashy layer at all. And it's filling up with water. I'm thinking it's just, maybe a spring. You can see the water pouring in. That would soften this area up. Yeah, there's just nothing in this. That's probably why I'm not feeling anything. Strange. I mean, look at the outline of this thing. It looks perfect for a privy. Huh. Well, moving on. That's when I was digging in. This is the other one. At least this one has stuff in it. This might be the roofing material to the actual outhouse, but you can see my probe holes. That does not look like ashy soil. There's a bottle cap. Some kind of cap. That just does not look like ashy soil. Well, let's get that up and take a peek at least. We can dig a little bit. There's a nail. It's a round nail. This might be a later privy if it is one. Bummer. There's a button. That's a button. It's a coverall button. Interesting. Who needs a detector? This has got to be a late privy. And those aren't brand new nails, but they're not ancient nails either. Oh, look at this. What do we get there? Underneath this layer, is that a beer? '50s. Yeah. This is probably a '50s privy right here. Let's see what that says. No deposit, no return. I got another one on the surface that I found over there like that. Yeah, let's dig this up and check it out. A button and a bottle. Let's see what's in there. Let me share this with you. First of all, I probed this hole. I probably put like 12 or so holes in this. And not to hit that bottle is very, very interesting. But that's what happens. It goes to show you, you can't rely on just the probe. You got to rely on your instincts as well. Everything about this says, you know, privy. So let's dig it. Let's see what happens. Yeah, stuff that's been laying here for who knows how long. We got a piece there, something there, iron. I don't see any more buttons or anything. Got a piece of glass right there. This might be just part of a shed or something. What's this? Let's check it out. That's a piece of plastic. Not Bakelite, but plastic. Looks like a razor holder. Well, that's not very old, is it? What's that? This iron piece right here. No, that's not even iron, that's a root. Thought I saw another button. Yeah, these are all round nails in here. Yeah, round nails. Some kind of shed structure. What's that? A piece of mirror. When's the last time somebody saw their image in that? I wonder. I don't know. It's hard to say if this is a privy or not. At first glance, I would say no. At this point, 'cause I'm not seeing that nice ashy layer, but there's a piece of glass right there. Nice thick piece of glass. That is from a nice blue mason. See the bubble in it? That has some age. That's pre-1912. Well, let's go ahead and stick the shovel in here. Just dig it out a little bit. See what we find. Might get older. Never know. Check this out. If this is what I think it is, what does that look like to you? That is a piece of slate. That is a piece of slate. Alright, let me ask you this question. Hopefully you know. What at an old schoolhouse has slate? Slate is a type of stone. It's a little slate writing board. This looks like a piece that they would have had on their slate writing board that they would have done their math on or spelled words or whatnot. That's a nice little artifact right there. You don't find slate just random. Interesting. I got some glass coming up. Pieces, they don't look terribly old. Some pottery. Just little bits and pieces now. But this does not look like a privy at all. It looks very natural. So maybe they had a little outbuilding over here, which is good because that's something we can explore a little bit more as well. We'll get this big iron up and actually start looking underneath that. It's impossible to detect underneath a big slate of iron like that. There's just no way you're going to hear any targets. So this is odd. It's a little depression I thought was a privy. It could still be. It could still be, depending on where they dug their hole. I might not be in the exact spot where they dug the hole. Just kind of bowled out. Maybe this is, I don't know what it is. Let me dig it out some more and find out. That's, you know, you got to excavate to find out things for sure. So it's not just all about metal detecting. You got to get into the ground, get deep, and start looking and finding things. So let's keep looking. That is sweet. It's another relic to put to this property. Well, this is what the soil's telling me. This is natural down here. Nice clay, but it has mixed in, see that darker brown spot? It has mixed in layers, so it's been disturbed. But because it's a depression, you know, it could be disturbed by the water that's actually flowing in here. So I don't think that that definitely is not a privy of any kind. Interesting. So the finds are within like 3 inches on the surface, and that's what I found here. So maybe it's just debris. I imagine if I dig anywhere on this property, I should be finding stuff like that as well. But because it's back here in a sinkhole that could have been a privy, a depression for a privy, had to check it out. So back to the drawing board on the whole privy thing. Yeah, figures. Boy, this spot, I've searched and searched and probed most of this ground. I haven't found any signs of a privy here, which is strange because they have to be here. Of course, there's so many bumps and valleys in this soil. And, you know, you got the trees, that the roots and everything, and just the house sits right there, up there. This was a perfect spot for it, right off the back corner. 2 depressions, and not privies. Well, back to the drawing board. We got a piece of slate. Let's go detect. Or maybe let's check out, let's start probing a little bit. Let's probe for a little while and see what we find. Yeah. So yeah. See all these low spots. Maybe you can see it down here. You see the low spot? You want to hit every low spot you can, and that's not guaranteed that a low spot is a privy, because soil changes and everything else. And you see there's a little rise right there. There's another rise in the back. There's a rise over there. Everything is leading back this way. That would have been the most likely spot for a privy. Let's go look at this foundation real quick. Now, there may have been 2 separate privies. One for the faculty. Maybe you had 1 or 2 instructors and maybe a cook. And then you had, you know, up to, what, 20 students maybe that fit inside this building. Now, there's a front door that looked like a side door over there. Possibly, I don't think there was a side door there, but possibly, but I know there was over here. And there's a back door right here, this back door. Usually, coming straight off this back door, straight back, is where you'd find a privy. You see how I don't see any trails either. There's no like definite footpath that comes along this way, except right here. Actually, here's a footpath. See it right here? There's a footpath, and it goes straight back here, but then there's another rise right there. So there's that other 50s bottle I found right there. And then it comes back to the back of the property, which is low level there. No definite depressions. You got a low level there. You see my dilemma? Yeah. So I'm going to go off on the side door, because maybe the students had to use the side door to get out. And instead of going back through the kitchen area, which I haven't searched over there for a privy. So let's go take a peek real quick. I'll show you what I find when I find it. Yeah. So now here's a low spot. Can you see it right there? But it's lower at this end, and I'm actually getting stuff. I don't know if that's rock or glass. That sounds like rock, but it's not very deep. So we're gonna dig that out. We'll dig that, check that out. And then we have a nice little sinkhole over here. There's something down there. There's stuff down there. I don't know if it's rock or what. But a lot of these sinkholes, like that big one right there, is associated with all the water saturation that's here. Imagine they built this place on a big spring. That's what it seems like. Alright. Here's the side door. What I believe is a side door. Let's take another look at it and just double check. So we got a front porch right there. Got the main building structure right here. What's that? Big hefty chunk of pipe. That's what they usually use for curtains and, you know, drawdowns like that or whatever. But alright, so you have a fireplace here. There had to have been a door right here. Had to have been a door. Definitely a door in the front. I can't imagine the kids would go running through the kitchen out the back, disturbing the kitchen area or getting burnt, stuff like that. But then again, we are talking about the early days where a child getting burnt, that was their own fault. You know, should have known better, kid. Nowadays it's like, ooh, we gotta enclose them in a bubble, keep them safe. But I don't know, I don't see a door over here either. There's no definite sign of a door. There should be like stairs, maybe brick stairs or something to suggest. Let's see if the front has anything like that. Whoa, I just fell through. Okay, so this just comes out onto a porch. This just comes right out into a porch area. And the main door would have been right here, probably. And again, I don't see anything other than porch beams coming out. Some of the structure you can see is definitely newer. Like this porch. This porch has actually round nails on it. So that was definitely built after while everything else has square nails. Or it's actually rectangular nails, not square nails. There is a difference. Whew. Yeah, trying to decipher this place. There we go. Give you a good, there, see them? There's a rectangle nail. There's a rectangle nail. Right there. Right there. And a round nail mixed in with it. Probably from attaching the porch to that beam. Let me dig out that hole. Let's have some excitement. Let me dig that hole and see what's there. There's something in there. It's right over that way. So I'm assuming there was a side door here. But that's a little close for an outhouse. Oh, what do we have here? I've missed this thing all the time. I've been here. What is it? It's on the surface. Can't be that old. 19 something. That's a food product. Screw top. That's hard to tell right there. 30s maybe. I don't want it. We'll leave it right there. Alright, let's dig that. See, what I'm looking for when I'm digging is I'm looking for that soil to change. You see that soil change? That is natural. This is not natural. This has been dug. So we'll see how far down that goes. I had something over here. Felt like I don't know, maybe a rock. There we see we have glass in there, but that's common because this place has been in use for a while. Got a nail. That's a square nail, or rectangular nail. Yeah. I'll just see how far this layer goes down. It's always a good idea to bring an axe. There's another nail. Another piece of glass. So that's not old glass. It's not ancient. There's a piece of iron right there with glass. Another nail. This might have been a structure right here. Yeah, lots of glass in there. It's not old. Now, this feels like a substantial piece of glass in there. That looks like window pane. Old window pane. Yep, that's a piece of glass for sure. And a large piece of iron. Yep, now. Let's see if we can get that. Got a jar top. Yep, we got a mason top. Can't tell anything. It's a screw top. So we're talking 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. All that glass belongs to it. That's probably what I was feeling when I was probing. If I can find the base, we can tell something a little more about it. Looks like it just got mushed into the ground. But my soil hasn't changed to that yet. It hasn't gotten to the clay. I'm still going down. Let's keep digging. Do you see the soil color? See how it's got that band of clay in it? It looks like it's diving down that way, but then over here, we're not getting that. We're still going down and still finding things. Lots of glass so far. So it might be a dump pit. It wasn't uncommon for people just to dig a hole and toss their stuff in it and then bury it. Yeah, just keep following the natural, and you see how this has been dug out over here. This is not natural soil right there. That is not. It also doesn't say privy. That's natural soil over there, that clay. So this pit goes out here more. Let's keep digging. I'm getting some charcoal or something down there. Looks like coal, yeah. Now that is not natural to find that coal, see it? That's not natural. And with glass mixed in with it. So this has been dug. There's a lot of coal in there. Look at that big chunk of coal right there. Digging little test pits like this, you have the potential to learn a lot and to possibly discover stuff you cannot detect with your detector. Yeah, see, there's nails, 5 inches deep. Still round nails. There was probably a little structure here. And that could be one of the stones. Well, that doesn't tell us anything. Let me get that root out and go deeper. Yeah, so I'm down to the clay layer now, but look at all in this wall right here. Can you see all that? All the coal? Tons of coal. I have to assume they had a coal shack here, and those are just remnants of a later period. Hence that stone was probably a cornerstone for it. So I've gone as far as I could. It's a nice little test pit. Learned a lot. Moving on. And this whole area is just one big sinking pit. It extends over here, and that's just super soft. Another depression that goes along with that right there. Who knows? The privy could have been in here. I'm kind of nervous to go down in here, but these are bottles I found on the surface, and I just sat down here. See that water? Look at that. Look at that. That water is gushing down in there. It's like underground aquifers in this area. Very scary. Piece of pottery. What else is falling out? Anything? It's a good little spot to find stuff eroding out of the surface. Piece of iron with wire attached to it. Very interesting spot. Here's another open sinkhole type thing, but there is glass down there. In fact, I can see a piece right there. That's looks like a 50 soda. Yeah, see? Cork tops. I'm thinking, you know, these have been here for a while and people are just tossing things in them. Hunters probably when they walk through here. Now here's a nice depression. You can see it right there. And it's actually nice and chunky down inside. Oh yeah, chunky all the way down. All the way down. Let's grab the shovel. Let's check it out. I just scratched the surface off and already finding some glass, so of course that looks machine made. Not terribly old. But let's keep our eyes open. Let's scratch around a little bit. That's a piece of iron. There's more glass. I think that's a brick, actually. Piece of brick, that's nice. Alright, let me work on this. I'll show you what I find. Look at that itty bitty piece of glass right there. I think maybe a test tube or something. It is a school. Could have been a little test tube. Interesting. I think we're getting evidence of another structure, possibly a shed or something like that. There's quite a bit of glass in there. Look at that one. Oh, that would have been nice to find. I don't know what that one was. Interesting though. This glass doesn't look terribly old, and there's some round nails in here, so. But there's also mason tops, but these things were used, geez, up until, I think they're still being used. So, no telling on age yet. I'm hoping to find some kind of datable material in here. Lots of stuff coming up. Charcoal, there's like a burnt layer. Glass, iron, nails. That's what I want to find right there. Square nails. Yeah. So the deeper I go, I'm hoping the better it gets. If this was a structure, there's a large piece of iron. You know, finding a couple nice pieces of complete pottery or glass would be nice too. Coins especially. This is just a test pit. You know, I'm testing to see where the structures were around here and looking for the privies, of course. Anything to tell me how this place was laid out. The best way to do that is find the flat ground. Usually there's some kind of depression or something in it that says there was a structure there, or sometimes it's a raised bed of soil. Usually, hopefully it's going to be a little flat. That's where they would have some kind of structure, like a shed or tool house, or who knows. You never know until you put the shovel in the ground, right? Yeah. Now we're getting down to a nice little layer here. It's full of nails. full of glass. What do we got there? It's another one of those pieces. You remember I found this the other day with my metal detector? That's going to be like number 13 or so. I keep finding these everywhere. I have no idea what that is. But they're everywhere on this property. Which is very interesting. There's a piece of coal. It's funny how you find coal everywhere. Of course, kids could have been playing with it. This is also how I find my arrowheads and Native American artifacts, because usually these old structures, late 1800s, early 1800s, mid 1800s, late 1700s, they usually set their sight on an already settled site, usually, normally. But then again, Native Americans were everywhere. Yeah, so you could find stuff anywhere and everywhere. But anyways, I'm gonna keep digging, hopefully find something interesting in this hole. It's still going down. I haven't hit the clay layer yet, so wish me luck. So, just lifted up a pretty big sized root and this popped out. That looks melted. It's a screw top, large screw top, broke off and melted. Are we into a burn pit? I would say yes. Look at how rich that soil is. I would say this is where they burnt all their stuff. That looks like a knife handle. Yeah. Well, alright. We found a burn pit. Sweet. Let's keep looking. Do you like marbles? I like marbles. This is how you find marbles. Look at that. Do you see it? Right there. It's an orange one. Now the nice thing about marbles is they're dateable. So that is a perfect dateable relic out of this burn pit right here. And there's really no other way to find these things. You gotta dig. That's a nice little marble. Yep. Keep looking. Keep looking. Some little kid lost her marble. Well, so far what we got is a whole bunch of glass, metal, old light bulbs. So this burn pit is not that old. So, and these are also dateable. So, yeah. It's not ancient. It's not the old one I'm looking for. But it's one that I've found, and we know where it is. See ya. Well, I think I'm going to start detecting a little bit. See if we can find some more coins. I mean, that's fun and all, looking through an old pit, burn pit, but that's not why I'm here. Not entirely. I want to find the relics. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to put my detector on and start going. So, see you on the first. Big 91 signal. Let's see if it's a can. Or something. What is that? That is a little teacup. Or something like that, isn't it? It has a Bakelite handle on it. Is that a tea? A kid's toy? Or you think they actually use this? That's aluminum. 40s and 50s maybe? I would say that's a little kid's toy. A little tea party pouring vessel. Interesting. It's made out of aluminum and bakelite. Might have been plastic. Neat. Look at that. Just got a surface find in there. Looks like a coverall button. Let's shine it up and see what we get. Oh, it's Lee. Yeah, we can date that for sure. That's definitely probably 20s or 30s. Yep. I got something here that shocked me because I was getting a 26 signal, and that's usually around like nickel, V-nickel, shotgun shell, stuff like that. And I dug it up, I pulled it out, and I was scanning, and do you see it right there? Is it a coin or a token? It's a quarter. It's silver. Oh, and I hit it. You see? I just nicked the top of it. 1937 silver quarter. Wow, did that ring up weird. That's odd. That's why I don't use discrimination. Beautiful. Nice silver quarter. I'll take a 37. It's not ancient. It's also not a bad find. With a little nick mark on the top. Can you still find these in circulation? I wonder. Beautiful. See ya. This stuff in here, whatever it is, which I think is like some kind of poison oak or something, you see it is coming up and attaching to every tree, trying to girdle it out, trying to kill it and clear it out. That is a very, very naughty bush. Shrub, tree, root, whatever it's called. I don't know. But my goodness, you see, it goes up and it chokes it off and it breaks it. So that's why it's such a mess in here. And look at the size of these, the system that it has. I mean, that is a big system right there, and it just vines up around itself all the way up. It's going all the way up to kill this tree. And there's another one right there. What does that? Is that wisteria? No, I've never seen it flower or anything. I think that's poison oak. Some kind of poison. Gotta be. I mean, look at it all. Just crawling up these trees. It's bringing them all down. It brought this one down. Just killed them. Anyways, I got a signal in here, but I needed my axe to get to it. These things are spreading all over the place, so. Alright, let me do some chopping and I'll show you what it is. Well, just a very nice sounding bottle cap. Glad to get that out of there. It's hard to show you these digging scenes in this thick stuff because, you know, I gotta chop through all these roots just to get down. These things are tough. Oh my goodness, and they don't want to break. Of course, underneath that bigger root. And then they have little shoots down below. Wow. that's fun. Wasn't a great signal, so I imagine it's going to be iron, but I don't like to leave any signal unfound. Yeah, it is. Piece of iron. Something. No telling. Make sure you look through your dirt. You never know what's going to pop out. There's some, is that clay or brick? Oh, there's brick in there. I'm working my way to the front of the house right here. I'm going to hit this front of the house and see if I can get as close as I can to the front porch area. Yep. Got a large 75 signal here, but I don't think it's going to be a coin just because of the size of the signal. It's, when you pinpoint it, that's how you can tell if it's a small signal or a large signal. Signal, I mean target. How much of that target's being detected. You can tell by there's some iron in there. That's not what I'm hearing. Oh, that's what I'm hearing right there. So I'm moving to the front of the building, front of the house, and I imagine I'm going to be finding a lot newer stuff. I have a theory. Now, my theory is that this wasn't the first schoolhouse. I believe this is probably the newer schoolhouse. Probably still built in the late 1800s, but the one that predates Civil War, I believe, is on that side. Over there. The finds over there are much older. That's where I found that 1850 coin. Over here, the finds are, they're not that old. I think, what I find. But turn of the century stuff, basically. Yeah. But over there, much older. So let me finish up here, just kind of scoot around a little bit and see what I can find, and then I'm going to head back over there and do a little more precision detecting and see if my theory is correct. I think this is the second schoolhouse. That one over there may have burned. I was finding evidence of burnt stuff, so we'll check it out in a minute or two. That's an odd find at a schoolhouse. That's a horse, small one. Yeah, well, that right there tells you turn of the century. Maybe, no, I don't think that's 1800s. Turn of the century, most likely. Yep, interesting. We find a horseshoe here. Nice. Yeah, look at this cedar. I mean, it just fell right over. I wonder if this just kind of pulls the stuff down. But right in this clearing, which is a nice clearing now, all these cedars being pulled down. Look at them. They're just being pulled. It climbs up the tree, and then it comes down, and then it starts pulling, and it yanks them right down to the ground. That is some power. I got a 76 signal that could be a coin. Right here. Right now. Didn't sound that deep, but let's get one more scoop out. See, we're down to that clay now, right down there, so that's good. Well, we're gonna be in here. Please don't be a bottle cap. Oh, I see it. See it right there? No way. I was gonna say, if that's gonna be a shotgun shell, 76 is a little loud. What is this? It's a piece of brass with like a screw top on the top. I don't know. That's interesting. No telling. Not a coin. Bummer. Bummer. There's some glass in there. Alright. We're not skunked. We found a coin already. Let's find more. Yeah, we got another coin. It was reading nickel, and I believe it is a nickel. I don't think this one's going to be that old. Probably, you know, I found Boy Scout stuff here, so I imagine this, and toys from the 50s, so this had occupation up to the 50s. I cannot get that date. I cannot see it. Of course, I'm not after these modern coins, but 1952, I think? 51 or 52. Yeah, 1951 or 52. That sounds about right. Alright, I think I'm gonna head over to where I believe the first original schoolhouse sat on this property. I don't know what else that would be over there. I find older stuff, so let's go check that out. See you when I get... Alright, this is where I believe the older structure sat. There's a much older tree here. That's probably original. And there's a high ground right there. That's where I expect the house to be. I find remnants down here. There's a clump of remnants right there to something. And there used to be a road that came up here and around. But this to me just says much older than that spot over there. Matter of fact, that looks like a structure in there, doesn't it? Could be a barn or something that went to the school. I don't see any cornerstones, anything like that. This is just laid right on top of the ground. Now, that's got round nails in it. Well, I still think this part over here is older. Maybe they added that later on. It just feels older. Alright, let me bebop around in here for a little bit. I mean, that's what you call a nice old tree right there. Yeah. Let's see what we find. See ya. Of course, the first thing I want to know is what's around this old tree. Some kind of handle, I think. It looks like a handle. Yeah. Something. Yeah, there was something up here. I'm getting a lot of iron hits. Small, now, deep, deep, deep iron signals. So deep that I haven't been able to reach a few of them. And there is some stone laying on the surface as well. So there was a structure up here on top of this little hill right here. I just cannot reach a lot of it. I don't feel like digging 3 feet in the ground. I wonder if they pushed some soil over here and buried it. It's a possibility. Let's go detecting. Let's find some more stuff. It's loaded with mason tops in this section. There's a nice tree right there, and I think all the other trees are pretty much gone. The house set right there. That's the house right there. And you see the landscaping. It's kind of interesting over here. I don't know if it is a dump area or if it's actually where the children ate. I imagine they would have ate out of their own jars and cans, but it still amazes me today to find so many mason tops. You know, these were reusable, but people chose not to reuse them. It's interesting. They had to cost money. Yeah. But yet, after searching all of this, I find no evidence that children were eating here other than just tossing their mason tops. There's no coins, there's no buttons, there's nothing like that. I am on the, if you're looking at the house from the front door, I'm on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side is where I find all the buttons and jewelry and all that stuff. I found my coins up that way yesterday, and I found that 1937 quarter right next to the, where is it? Right there. There's a tree right there, right next to the fireplace, the old chimney fireplace. So I'm going to work my way up here, go back around, go to the right side, and search. See ya. I'm thinking maybe an old mop, or maybe an old broom, but I'm thinking an old mop. Yeah. Something. So I've worked my way to almost the back. That's the very back. I'm still on the right-hand side back where the well is. Got a 78 signal down here. I'm on coin and jewelry mode, and I am only looking for high-tone targets. Is that a piece of bone? See it right there? What is that? That's a piece of bone. Evidence of what they might have been eating. Is it possible to try to figure out what kind of animal that was? I don't know. Looks like it's been split open. Might have been in a soup or something. Well, this was a high-tone signal. Kind of your average high-tone signals for an area like this. It's an old piece of leather. '70s usually are ideal high-tone signals for an older era like this. Anything bigger is usually going to be modern junk or something. Well, there's something right there. Yeah, just kind of junky, whatever it is. Kind of junky. No idea. Trash. Right off the very back where the step was, that stone was the step, the landing outside the door. not even 5 feet away, I got a 78 going up to an 82 tone signal. So I'm curious to see what that is. That's a pretty big signal. I think I felt it. It's probably iron. No way a horseshoe gave me that signal. There's no way. That doesn't make any sense. Horseshoes usually come in pretty low because it's iron. And you know what the funny thing is I wasn't getting any iron hits. That's weird. I'm gonna have to recheck that. My detector wasn't picking that up as iron. Usually these are pretty low, like 10 or 16 on the scale. Interesting, another horseshoe. Let's recheck that. Because that is strange. That's pretty high. Of course the 80 signal. The 80 signal usually says iron. I got something else on the ground down there. Iron. Oh well, I'm gonna leave it. Alright, I'm gonna go over to the good side, right over here, and search for coins and jewelry and toys and all that stuff. Yep. So nice 73 signal back here. Wow, this feels really loose. $73 could be a coin. Just could be. Or that dirt really smells. Or an iron ring. That could belong to anything. Yeah. So I have a signal right there. But do you see that? That's my second marble for today. That's a nice one. I like that. That's kind of odd looking. These are dateable. People collect marbles. Matter of fact, I give them all to my daughters. They love vintage and antique marbles. They just love them. So I have a signal right in there. Let's see if we can dig it. And a marble laying right on the top of the surface there. Love it. Boy, that coal gets everywhere. That's more coal. Yeah, that's probably what I was hearing. This stuff gives great signal. Old cans and stuff. I'll reach big 79 signal. Of course, I've already been through here a few times, you know, but it's every time that you come through is you're removing more and more material, allowing other signals to be heard. That looks like a fence post top. That's what that looks like. Any more marbles? That's probably fence post top. There's a big 70 signal. This is great. I love the fall because, you know, I'm able to get into these places where normally I could not. So I'm picking up new signals. That looks like it might be a buckle or some kind. Or maybe a clock piece or something. Need my shovel back. Yeah, that's some kind of mechanism. clock piece or something. Yeah, double-sided with gears in the middle. Yup. Who knows? Clock, most likely. Oh, if this isn't a coin, I'm going to be very shocked. This has the perfect coin sound to it, for sure. Perfect coin sound. And it's not very deep. Look at that dirt. Nice piece of pottery in there. Look at that. Well, nothing's jumping out at me. Suppose we better scan it. Find out. This sounds nice. Oh, now the signal has changed. I got it. Lost it. Lost it. Oh, there it is. It fell in the hole. It looks like either a button or a token. Let's clean it. That might be something significant. It is a button, and it has the letters NC, North Carolina. This might be a North Carolina button of some sort. Now, states usually do that commemorative type things. That's a nice button. Boy, that rang up nice, like a coin, too. That is neat. I've never found one like that. It's missing whatever back it had on it. Looks like iron. Sweet. North Carolina button. Yep, moving on. Oh, we got something with some writing on it. And it looks like a number 7. Y'all know what those are? It sits on top of your fireplace. Or your wood stove. Yeah, the wood stove. The burners. The burner plates. Yep. Large piece of iron coming up. Let's see what it is. Well, that's not it. That's a brick. There we go. That's chain. Could that be from a swing set or something? It's got a rigging ring on it. There's a perfect example of a rigging ring. What's on that end? A big ball of old chain. Yeah. That could have been a swing set back here. That brick is interesting. Alright, let's keep looking. Just a miscellaneous 50s. But I'm hunting non-ferrous, so that's interesting. More coal. Wow. My goodness. I had coal everywhere. Is that pottery? Yep. Well, I'm not seeing anything. Better get in there and investigate. Just a 50 signal, so that's what we're looking for. Right in the topsoil. Yep, there it is. It is a mushed bottle cap. Seriously mushed bottle cap. Huh. I wonder what mushed it like that. Yeah, moving on. Looking for a 28 signal, which there's a chunk of iron right there. It looks like a caster wheel. Look at this pottery. I've never found pink pottery. That's interesting. That's the first pink I've ever found right there. I think we're hearing that. Let's see what else is in this clump. That's it. Let's scan that thing and see if that's what we are hearing. Yeah, if it's just sitting right. Just a caster wheel, iron caster wheel. Yeah, who knows. There's an interesting piece. It still swivels and moves. I don't know. Something to something. Interesting. Just so you know, every time I come in and search a property, I change things up. I don't use the same settings at all, ever. Because it doesn't make any sense to. I'm on coin and jewelry. I'm on 30 iron tone, so I can hear the iron. 0 discrimination, and I bumped it up to 7 on the signal sensor. Well, let's see what this is together. Sometimes I just get tired of listening to all the signals, so I just take my headphones off and share with you, but other times I just go, and I forget to document stuff as I go. Sounds about right. That's my 4th shoe. Yeah, that's my 4th shoe out of this place. Today, I just found one not too long ago. Just keep going. More coal. And it looks like a mason top. And a nail. Wow. Smashed. Need to see that L. '30s, I believe. Nice coinage sounding signal right here. I'm in the front of the house. And it sounds nice. Though it could be anything. You know. You know how it goes. Well, I'm not seeing a chunk of iron. So that's good news. Oh, let's scan that and see what we get. We might have a coin here. Either I missed it or it's right here. Oh, look there. I see silver. Look at that. I see silver. Mark dime, maybe? Or is it a rosy? It's a rosy silver. 1952. That's our second silver. I'll take it. Nice. Let's scan that again just in case. Where there's one, there's more. Let's keep going. It's a big 70 high tone. Mason top? Maybe. Oh, there it is right there. Is that the innards of a pocket watch? Yeah. Look at this. You can still see the hand on it. You see it right there? See the little hand? Now this has probably got writing on it. It's probably not ancient. I'm gonna save that, clean it up, and see what I can determine from it. Little research projects, you know. More coal. Yeah. I have so much stuff at home that I still have to look through. Nature of the beast. I think we might have another coin. Listen. There's iron there. Iron. It's small, but it's not overly small. So, I don't know. 50-50 on this one being a coin. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It wasn't deep, so let's just recheck it real quick and see. I think it's out. It's laying on the side over here. Yeah, in my hand. Somewhere in that mess. Or maybe it fell out. I better rescan that. Yeah, it's not giving a good signal right now. Oh, these leaves. They make a mess of things. Got it. Lost it. Good gracious. What is it? Oh, there it is. It's tiny. Tiny little copper O-ring. Those things are hard to find. You get mixed up in all that leaf and debris and everything else. Alrighty. Getting tired of getting tangled up here. Moving on. Well, no old coins today. No jewelry. No bottles. I'm beginning to think I've been working pretty hard on this site. Of course, I still find coins, so which is about right. You know, I'm getting all that iron and all that debris layer up, so coins just continue to pop up, and the buttons and all the smaller stuff, but bummer. I still can't find the bottles associated with this property. I was hoping to find the privy, but I still can't find it. Alright, so I think this is going to be good. I've hunted this place twice now, 2 days in a row, so we'll let it sit. Probably hit it in the spring, maybe the summer, and see how the ground changes for us. I am going to probably hit a new property next. Go in and check out a new property and see how that goes. It's a lot of work, new properties. Tons of work. You gotta get through all that iron. And that iron takes a while to get through sometimes, depending on the size of these properties. Some people, even today, throw everything in their yards. Everything. And those properties are a nightmare to detect. But anyway, I had fun. It's my hobby. I enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed it too. So anyway, I did detect, here's that big tree up here. I did detect property, building, some kind of building up there on that high ground over there. There's one over in that corner. There used to be one right there. And there was quite a few sheds dotted around that old schoolhouse. Is that the original schoolhouse? I don't know. It's hard to say. It may be. There are square nails in it, so it may just be. No telling. But let me get situated. I'll show you what I found, and then I'm getting out of here. Going home. Well, I know I always show you more than what I dig. But then again, sometimes I show you things that I didn't show you that I dug, if that makes any sense. Like this big chunk of lead. If you want to find old lead, that's lead right there. Who knows what that went to, but that's a big chunk of lead. That's a big chunk of lead. I just throw it in my lead pile. I have tons and tons of lead. And got this little mechanism thing. No telling, it is really neat looking. It looks kind of primitive. Interesting. I don't know if that was a gauge or actually a watch. I'll have to clean it up and find out. I think it's about the pocket watch size, so perhaps. Of course, still finding shotgun shells. Some kind of brass thing and some kind of, it says patent applied for. Maybe lipstick, I imagine. Yeah, a little wing nut and some kind of little seal. I found one little spoon, 2 marbles, a nickel, 1950s, silver dime, 52, I think it was, silver quarter, 1937. We have 3 buttons, overall buttons, got 2 of those, and 1 nice North Carolina button. Let me turn it around so it's readable. NC, that is nice. That's probably the find of the day right there, besides those marbles. And then this, of course, is very interesting. This, I believe, is part of somebody's old slate that they used to write on. So that's really interesting for this property. It's not something you run into all the time. Imagine only at old schoolhouses. So, very neat find. And, hey, it is what it is, right? I mean, what else is it going to be? What else did they use slate for at an old school? So, common sense usually, but then again, you call it what it is, what you think it is, and you may be wrong. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not. We'll see. But nice couple marbles and some silver and a nice North Carolina button today. So, and some lead. You know, add to the collection. So, yeah, I'm going to be done with this place until probably spring or summer. Let it settle down, of course. All those holes I dig, they settle. And that just gets me closer to, you know, whatever else is there. Yeah, get all that material out so I can hear the rest of the signals that are there. I pounded this place for the last 2 days, so I think I did pretty good. And running out of decent targets, I think. But yesterday, I mean, Was it yesterday or the day before that? Yeah, day before that. 1850s large scent. I mean, that is sweet to come out of here. Totally sweet. So that changes the whole date of this place. So that's awesome. And this slate, that puts the definite mid, maybe to late 1800s on there as well. So cool. Anyways, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next hunt.